What's up, people of YouTube? March 3rd marks the first year anniversary of the Nintendo Switch. It released back in 2017, March 3rd, 2017, on a Friday. And I'm sure in a few years I'll probably forget the exact day of the week, but that really doesn't matter. And then in 10 years, it probably won't even matter when the exact date for the system release was. Anyway, let's get on to this. So yes, I wanted to do a little celebration here on YouTube for the Nintendo Switch first year anniversary, 2017, and so far what we've had of 2018 have. Okay, so the last 12 months, it's been a very good year for the Nintendo Switch. Well, I should say a great year. And I wanted to go over not every single game that was released, not even every first-party game. These are just the games I happen to enjoy the most. Now, when I say the most, that doesn't mean every single one of these games is one of my favorite games, but they're up there. And I tried to get them to correspond with their release dates. So just because I say something before another game does not mean, just because I say Mario Kart 8 way before Super Mario Odyssey does not mean I like Mario Kart 8 Deluxe more than Mario Odyssey. Because I like Mario Odyssey more than Mario Kart 8 Deluxe. It's just Mario Kart 8 released late April last year, 28th or 29th, I believe. Mario Odyssey was October 30th. Correct me if I'm wrong. Maybe it's the 29th. Anyway, it doesn't really matter. Yeah, so let's get started. I would have to say, I remember playing The Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild. That was a very, very good game. In fact, that's just because, I know I just said this, but it just so happens it has to be probably my favorite Switch game. No, that's not why it's first. It's just because what I just explained. It just happens to be probably right now my favorite Switch game. At least my favorite first-party Switch game. This came out March 3rd for the Nintendo Switch, as well as the Wii U. That was the last first-party game for the Wii U. Unless I'm missing something. It was the first. It's not the first open world Zelda game. However, I could say it's the first. I don't even know if first true open world game. It is the first Zelda game that's similar to Skyrim, where you have to actually find weapons. Yes, other Zelda games you find weapons technically, but you actually carry weapons. Your weapons can get damaged and break. You have to eat food to replenish your health. Yeah, so there's no hearts. Well, technically there are hearts, but not in you can't really go out in the wild and actually find hearts per se. You have to do it by other means, or by completing these shrine quests, or completing dungeons. Not really dungeons, but Divine Beast. And I really like how they did the game. First Zelda game with, not really, I don't want to say full voice acting, because not every cutscene have voice acting. But it's the first Zelda game with it's the first canon Zelda game, not counting Hyrule Warriors. Technically, there was some voice acting in there. But it's the first canon Zelda game with voice acting. And it wasn't perfect voice acting. Some of it was really good, some of it wasn't good at all. But I think, as a first for the Zelda series, I think Nintendo has the right idea. Are they taking in the right direction? They have the right idea, I'll say that. I also played through the DLC. At least I played part of DLC Pack 1. I never finished it. I did beat DLC Pack 2, the story mode part of DLC Pack 2. Which added a 5th Divine Beast, and you get a motorcycle. And I love the motorcycle. It's not perfect, but it controls decently for a Zelda game. Well, I don't really know how a motorcycle is supposed to control in a Zelda game, because unless you're playing Mario Kart 8 on your Wii U or Switch, Link has never rode a motorcycle in a game. The next game on the list, this came out later in March. This was Snake Pass. So Sumo Digital made this game. They are also responsible for making some of the Little Big Planet games. They've made games for the Sony PlayStation 3 and PS4. They made Little Big Planet, 2. I'm not sure about the first one, and I think they did the third one. They did Sonic and Sega All Stars Racing, Sonic and All Stars Racing Transformed, and I think they did the All Stars Superstars tennis game. I could be wrong. And Snake Pass is a really good game. It's a platformer, but you're playing as a giant snake, and then you got this little bird, and I guess he's a hummingbird. No, I don't know. He's a bird, and he's and your friends, and you're trying to save the day, even though I don't really give a shit about the story, but whatever, it doesn't matter. But it's a good game. I'd recommend it. It was about $20, which it might be cheaper now. I don't know. I do recommend getting it if you have a Nintendo Switch. Or even if you don't have a Switch, if you have an Xbox One, PS4, or PC, get it on one of those platforms. I think you'll like it. Now, I was kind of talking about this a little bit before, a couple times. Mario Kart 8 Deluxe. This game came out April 28th, at the end of April. This was a port from the Wii U version of Mario Kart 8, but this is a deluxe version. You start off with all the characters unlocked. Now, there's some things you don't unlock, like the carts upgrades. You have to unlock some of those. And it's just a really good game, and I kind of prefer this over the Wii U version. Now, in some ways, I still think Mario Kart Wii is my favorite Mario Kart game. Why? I don't know. Just for some reason, it just happens. Yeah, Mario Kart 6, aka Mario Kart Wii, I think is my favorite Mario Kart game. It just seems like the first one that I really, really got into. Now, I think there was other ones you could do tricks in before, but this is the one I was really into for a long time. And I think that's why Mario Kart 8, Mario Kart 8 Deluxe is probably my second favorite, but I would say Mario Kart Wii is my first favorite. And I just think it's because I really got into it. So you should definitely check this game out if you haven't already. And if you have a Switch, why would you not own that game? Come on. Maybe it's not your favorite game, but you should. If you like racing and you like Mario, you need to try this out. Coming up next was not really a game, but it's based on games. It's a convention, E3. This was held in the summer of June. Well, technically spring because it was earlier in June, so technically it was still spring. But everyone kind of considers it a summer thing. And then that was a good event. I'm not going to get too much into that. Splatoon 2 happened to release in the summer, and this was another good game. It's almost a first-person shooter. No, it's a third-person shooter made by Nintendo. I can't say this is my favorite shooter game. Maybe on the Switch, but I don't know. I haven't really played enough of that. I kind of like Resident Evil Revelations, though, if that counts. Yeah, so, it's definitely not my favorite game, but it is a good game. I don't know if I can recommend it to you, but if you like first-party, third-person shooter games on Nintendo, made by Nintendo, it's at least worth checking out or watching reviews or trailers, seeing what you think of it. Oh, another summer game is Sonic Mania. Yes, so this was actually originally a fan game, and then Sega actually, I don't know how this actually came about, but Sega apparently decided to publish the game, and it did really well. And you can get this on all platforms, all consoles, including PC, not mobile devices. But so this is definitely my favorite, probably one of the best Sonic games released in a very long time. It takes Sonic, Tails, and Knuckles back to the 2D classic retro style days. 16-bit era. You go through older zones as well as newer zones, and a lot of the older zones are actually redone, and then the graphics are brand new graphics. Come on. So 60 FPS. The animations don't play at 60 FPS, but the camera movement is 60 FPS. And if you like older classic 2D games, I don't see why you would not like Sonic Mania. Now this is actually another summer game I'm going to talk about briefly. This is from Ubisoft. Mario plus Rabbids Kingdom Battle, released late August, mid-August technically. It released in the summer, we'll say that. This is from Ubisoft. Basically, I guess Ubisoft wanted to make a Mario game with the Rabbids. Miyamoto approved of it. Shigeru Miyamoto apparently liked the idea of the shooter RPG. Yeah, I believe it was made in France from what I looked up earlier, but that could be wrong. And it's a really good game. In fact, when I first heard of it, I thought it was the most stupidest thing ever. And then once I saw the E3 stuff, E3 gameplay footage of this, then I instantly changed my mind. It's still not my favorite game, but it is a good game. And if you like family party games, you should definitely check this out. Fun fact before I move on. Mario plus Rabbids Kingdom Battle runs on the same engine as Tom Clancy's The Division, as well as the newest South Park game that did not release on the Switch, sadly. So, South Park: The Fractured Butthole, that's what it was called. Okay, I'm sorry. I screwed up the title a little bit. By the way, I'm playing through that game right now. Not now, but currently. That's one of the current games I've been playing through, and I'm enjoying it. But that is definitely not well, a lot of the games I'm going to be talking about next are not for kids to be playing. Yeah, so the engine that the game runs on is Snowdrop, which happens to run in The Division and South Park. It's used in Mario plus Rabbids. So therefore, the Nintendo Switch must be able to handle the new South Park game. So come on, Ubisoft and Nintendo, you can do it. Especially since Nintendo doesn't really care about censoring stuff anymore. Yes, so here's another game. I actually just got this game, or these two games, about a week ago, I think. Well, yeah, about. This is Resident Evil Revelations and Resident Evil Revelations 2. I downloaded it on my Switch. The only reason I downloaded it is because they were a lot cheaper. Generally, I don't do that. But now my Switch is running really low on space. In fact, I'm like over half. I still have enough with the SD card, but still, I need to watch it though. I could probably get through at least the summer, and then I'll start, I think later in the spring, I'll worry about what to do closer to April. Yeah, so this game came out in the fall, but I happened to get it just the other week, whatever. I've only played through Revelations 1. It's a great game, and I recommend you to get it. And I assume Revelations 2 is also good. L.A. Noire. It's the very first Rockstar game. It's the very first Rockstar game released on a Nintendo console in a very long time. Yes, we had Bully back on the Wii, and I think there was something on the GameCube. And then we had some Grand Theft Auto games on the Game Boy, and there was one on the DS. So it's the first Rockstar game since the Wii. Yeah, Rockstar skipped the Wii U. In fact, GTA 5 supposedly was supposed to come to the Wii U, but the Wii U can handle it, so there's now rumors that it might come to the Switch. And there was originally rumors that L.A. Noire would come to the Switch, which actually happened to be true. So that's a detective game. It's basically a port. I guess you could say it's a remaster, but it's more of a port more than anything else. The graphics might be slightly better on Switch compared to PS3 and 360. And then you can play it 4K on PS4 and I think Xbox One. PS4 Pro and Xbox One X. Something like that. Next up is Doom. This was from ID Software and published by Bethesda. This was actually the very first, I believe this released before Skyrim, by the way. So that makes it the first Bethesda game released on a Nintendo console since Home Alone back on the NES. If I'm missing another game, let me know in the comments, please. I would really appreciate that. Doom is a good shooter, first-person shooter. It's definitely not my favorite. A lot of you would probably be very surprised, like, what? How's it not your favorite? I don't know. It's just, maybe it's just because the Switch version is, I don't know if plain's the right word, but the Switch version is not perfect. In fact, sometimes it's ugly, to be honest. But, I mean, other than that, it looks good. It looks good on handheld mode. They also added some more motion. It had some motion controls before, but now it has, like, full motion control, I guess, if you want to call it that. Next up is The Elder Scrolls V Skyrim. This released, I think, like the same week. It was either the same week or a week later. And this was also from Bethesda. Yes, I know people are probably tired of hearing about Skyrim. and I wonder how many more times they'll release it. Hopefully this is it, the Switch and PlayStation VR version. Or it... Yeah, so Skyrim is a great game. And sorry to say, first-person shooter fans, I would recommend Skyrim over Doom any day. Unless you don't like Skyrim, or Elder Scrolls. But yeah, so Skyrim is a good game on Nintendo Switch. It also has amiibo support in it. You can use the Zelda Breath of the Wild amiibo. I think you can use other amiibo to unlock stuff too. But the Zelda ones... Yeah, you can use other amiibo, and just like Breath of the Wild, it'll give you like random items. I think sometimes they're based on the amiibo, but some amiibo just give you random stuff. And then, yeah, if you use the Zelda amiibo, you get like the tunic and all that stuff unlocked. The sword, the shield. Now, you do not actually need the amiibo to do this. You can actually hunt through the game and find the items yourself without the amiibo. So, if you're worried and thinking you have to spend the money, no, you don't. It helps. In fact, you get an action figure out of it. That's always how I saw it. So, the amiibo doesn't really bother me. I mean, to an extent, sometimes it does. But at the same time, it doesn't really bother me that much because you get an action figure out of it. It's something physical, too. So, it doesn't... I kind of like them. And they're not super expensive, generally around $12 or $13. The bigger ones can be like $20. Just don't get it from scalpers. Now, the final game I want to talk about is Super Mario Odyssey. This would probably be my second favorite game on the Nintendo Switch, released in 2017. For the first time since Super Mario 3D World, Mario goes back to 3D gameplay. But actually, I would actually say for the first time since Super Mario Galaxy 2. Yes, Super Mario 3D Land and 3D World were 3D games, but it's more... The 3D in those games was bland. They were good games, but they just weren't as 3D... They weren't open world. This game is... It's limited. It's open world, but it's limited. So it's not truly open world. But to an extent, it is open world. More of the likes of Mario 64, Sunshine, and then the Galaxy games. 3D Land and 3D World, yeah, there's a hub world, but they're not really open world. So yeah, that's about it. I want to congratulate Nintendo on a great first 12 months of the Nintendo Switch and all the games. Yeah, I know there's some games I did not mention. ARMS, I have played the beta, but I don't actually own the game. I don't know. I have no interest in the game. I'm sorry. I tried it. It wasn't bad, but I can't say it's good either. It's just... I don't dislike it. No, it's all right, but it's... No, okay, no. I was going to compare it to Metal Gear Survive, but that's a terrible idea. Anyway, I think I already explained that anyway. So, yes, congratulations, Nintendo, on a great year for the Nintendo Switch. 2018 looks very promising. May not be as good, but I think it'll still be very decent. We have Dark Souls coming out. We have Kirby. I think that comes out Friday. Maybe it comes out next week, along with Final Fantasy 15. So, that's going to be it for the Switch. Next games we have are Kirby Star Allies, RBI Baseball, or RBI 2018 Baseball, whatever they're calling it. Outlast just released the other day, and then there was like a Portal spinoff. Didn't know if it was the official Portal. I mean, it is technically, but... so I scrolled down on the eShop, it said copyright Valve. I think I said Dark Souls comes out April or May, I can't remember which. And then I'm hoping GTA 5 comes to the Switch. Come on, Rockstar, you can do it. Anyway, without further ado, thank you for watching, and I will see you guys next time.